Hey, what's up all you fishing addicts out there? Thanks so much for tuning into another Addicted Fishing tutorial. Today, we're gonna be talking about how to catch trout on marshmallows. But before we do that, if you're brand new to our channel, don't forget, please tap that subscribe button down here, turn on those bell notifications, and stay tuned for some more trout tips. All right, addicts, so first off, let's start with the rod. Basically, anything that's like an ultralight trout setup is gonna work for you. But if you don't have that, basically any rod's gonna work. Anything in that 7 to 8 foot range. This is an ultralight Okuma Salilo rod. This is a 6.6 2 to 6 pound. I got it paired with a 3000 Okuma Inspira. We really love Okuma fishing tackle. If you guys wanna get yourself some, we'll put some links down in the description for that. But any rod that you have will work. And basically what we've started with here is braided line. We really like braided line just because the way it cuts through the water, the way it doesn't, it's durable, it's super durable. A lot of times you can have braid on your reel forever and never have to worry about it. So I just prefer braided line. This is a 8-pound braid that I got on here, but you can use mono if you want to use mono, fluorocarbon if you want to use mono, or fluorocarbon if you want to use fluorocarbon. It doesn't really matter. We just prefer that braided line. And what we do because of that braided line is we're actually going to double uni knot some 6-pound fluoro clear on there, and we want to keep the line light so that those fish don't see it. Doesn't you know, hinder them from biting the setup. So we're going to double uni that knot here, and we'll show you how that's done. All right, so basically you're going to cross both lines just like this. You're going to grab your braid, you're going to loop it just like that, loop, and then grab it. Then you're gonna wrap that around both lines 5 or 6 times. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're gonna pull that tight, like so. And then on the same setup, you're gonna do exactly the same thing with that fluorocarbon that's going the other direction. So you're gonna loop that around itself. If I can grab onto it here, you're gonna loop it around itself like so, and then you're gonna wrap 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're gonna pull that guy tight. Then you're gonna wet your line. You always wanna make sure that you wet that with some saliva or water or whatnot. And then you're gonna pull the two together. Uh-oh. What's going on, Sean? Then you're gonna pull the two together here, just like so. Boom. And then you have affixed your braid to your fluorocarbon, just like that. And then you're gonna take your 2 tag ends, you're gonna cut those off here. Where'd my trusty Gerber scissors go? Just like that. Cut it as close to that knot as you can get. Same thing, cut your braid tag end off. Boom. And then what you're left with is a nice thin diameter knot, which attaches your line together. Super strong, no trout's really gonna be able to break that. All right, next thing you're gonna need is your weight. So we're gonna grab our weights here. I'm gonna just use a sliding egg weight. They work extremely well. We're going to put that on the line like so, and it's just gonna slide on there, just like that. And the reason I like to use a sliding weight like that and something that's not affixed to it is once that trout comes along and grabs that marshmallow or whatever you're fishing on the bottom and he starts to pull it, it will slide. So this will just slide through the thing and he won't feel your weight. So it works really well. Now, next thing you're gonna need is a barrel swivel. So we're gonna grab that barrel swivel down here, just like that. Tie that barrel swivel on there using just your standard fisherman's knot here. Basically wrapping 6-7 times around the line itself, and then putting it back through that loop seems to hold extremely well. Always wet your knots, especially with fluorocarbon. It has a tendency to drag onto itself and it'll burn that knot and make it weak. So you always want to make sure that you wet that knot. Get your tag end here. Cut that off. So then you can see that slides down to your weight there, or to your swivel there. Now you need another piece of leader attached to the other end of the barrel swivel. So we're gonna grab that P-line floral clear here. We're gonna take off I'm gonna do about 3 feet. So this is what is gonna happen here. The more leader that you have, the more your lure or bait or whatever you're using is able to float off the bottom. So you're gonna kind of want to figure out how far off the bottom you want that stuff to float and then go from there. I'm gonna say about 3 feet. So I'm gonna pull off about 3 feet there. Cut that off here. We're gonna attach that to the other end of the barrel swivel. Like so. Same thing, make sure you wet that knot. Ooh, I just licked my worm fingers, that tasted good. Again with the tag ends, cut that off. And so far, this is what we've got here. I got a lot of line here. Let me reel some of this up, guys. There we go, get some of that up here. So now, basically, just like I said, we got our fluorocarbon bumper down to our egg weight, to our swivel. Alrighty, now we're gonna get to the business end of things. So now you need your hook. The reason I like fishing these marshmallows is they're simple, they're cheap, they work well, and you can buy marshmallows literally anywhere. So they work extremely well when the trout are wanting to bite. So let's grab, again, a size 6 mustad bait hook here. Little nice mustad trout pack. This is a nice little pack of worms. Comes with a pack of hooks. Sorry, it comes with a nice variety of sizes and all that. I'll make sure I drop a link in the description down below where you guys can get that. But size 6 hook. Again, same knot, just your standard fisherman's knot here. I like to wrap 7 times when it comes to that knot. Back through it so. Wet that knot. Pull her tight. Now you're almost fishing, guys. I'm gonna cut that tag end off there. Now let's talk about bait here. But before we do, I'll quickly run through. We got an ultralight rod, Okuma Salilo, 2 to 6 pound, 6'6" in length, 3000 size reel, some braided line to a fluorocarbon bumper, to your egg weight, to your barrel swivel, to some 3 feet of more fluorocarbon to your hook. Pretty simple little setup. You can get fishing for pretty cheap. So now let's talk about bait, like I said. So when you go to the store, this is what's so cool about this. Look at how much bait I just bought for $2, I think is what these cost me. Craft little marshmallows. These are the little mini ones. And they work damn freaking good, damn good. So if you don't want to go with the store-bought marshmallows, which I highly recommend because it's cheap, it's a lot of bait, and it's easy to use, you also can go with something like this. There's a bunch of different companies making their own marshmallows. And so, you know, these things, ugh, they stink. They're like a garlic scent to them. But you know, you can get them in different colors. You guys want to smell them? Oh wait, you can't. You can get them in different colors, different, you know, different brands, all that. So these are garlic and they're like an orange. Same thing, they're a marshmallow. You know what they probably do? They probably buy these by the millions and put them in here and color them and throw some garlic scent on them and then sell them to all the fishermen out there. But they work well as well. Come on, Marlon. They also work well, but I really like just using these. And the cool thing about these, actually, let's open them with my scissors here. Gerber scissors, dude, they work for everything. I'm telling you guys, if you don't have a pair of these Gerber scissors, they're life changers. Life changers. I'll put a link in the description. The cool thing about these marshmallows is not only do they work for fish, you can eat them, and they're delicious. Want one, Sean? Open up. Oh, he missed it. Anyway, so again, I have been using these things since I was a little kid. My dad taught me these back in the day, and the cool thing about them, like I said, is when you're fishing this off the bottom, You want your bait to float. Well, marshmallows, Sean, go to the water here real quick, naturally are gonna float. And look at, zoom in on that, Sean, and look at the scent trail it's leaving. That's the really cool thing about marshmallows. You know, they float and they're letting off that sweet, nice scent that trout like. They really like to eat them. And like I said, this is a lot of bait. This will last you freaking all the time in the world. So basically what you do, it's very simple. Take your little snell hook or bait holder hook. You're gonna put that marshmallow right into the center of it. You're gonna put it up through onto that bait keeper, like so. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And it works, and it works good. So, you know, a lot of these trout aren't gonna be very big, but if you want also, these hooks are big enough, you could throw another marshmallow on there and fish two to kind of hide that hook and get it floating better. So like I said, you can fish one, you can fish two, but the other thing I like to do a lot of times if these fish are being finicky is I'll cut these and fish just a half, just like that. And then you can see it kind of makes it elongated like that. And I like to take the long side and just put it right down the center like this and kind of help cover that whole hook. It's falling apart on me because it's all mushy. But again, if those trout are being finicky and they don't want a big bait, just downsize it. Cut it down, use a smaller bait, and that works just as good. The other cool thing about buying like the store-bought, you know, marshmallows that don't have scent, you know, like these are a garlic scent. What if the fish don't want garlic that day, you know? I like to take these store-bought marshmallows and just do my own. I got a little extra power bait container here, a little plastic container. We're gonna throw a few marshmallows in there, like so. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this trophy rooster tail scent made by Warden's. Actually, we'll probably just spray it. We don't even need to pour it. It's gonna come out enough here. And we're just gonna take it, and we're gonna spray some of it in there. Like so. Mix it around. And there you go. Now you have your own scented marshmallows and you can play with them and do your own scent. You know, ProCare also makes some dyes, some different bait dyes that you can use, and you can dye your own marshmallows. All of which will be very effective, you know, just for standing out from the crowd and being your own person when it comes out to trying to catch these fish that sometimes are just finicky towards us anglers and don't want to bite. You got to get creative sometimes, so this is a way you can do it. And we're gonna let those just kind of sit there and soak. Let's get out here on the lake and show you how to fish this. All right, addicts, so we're out on the lake now. Basically, you got your trout set up, rigged up. But what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna cast this out there, fling it out there as far as your little heart desires. You're gonna let that thing sink to the bottom. Boom, just like that, we hit bottom. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna reel that thing snug. Reel that thing tight, just like that. And then you're gonna sit and wait. Gonna wait for a fish to come along and chomp, 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 chomp. And once he does, say you start to get a bite and you see your setup kind of going like this. This is kind of what a bite's gonna look like. You're gonna see it kind of bouncing just like this, just like so. You're gonna slowly pick that rod up and don't set the hook too fast. Kind of make sure he's got it, and then once you feel like, okay, he's got it, just give it a nice hook set like that and reel that fish in. And that's it, addicts. And let's see what that marshmallow's done as it kind of sat out there for a second. It did absolutely nothing. And that's why I love these freaking marshmallows. I don't know if you guys have had the same struggles as me when it comes to like power bait and all that, and just trying different ways to keep your power bait on the hook. These marshmallows never come off the hook. They stay on there extremely well, and the fish bite them almost as good as power bait. And like I said, remember that little trick that I showed you in the scent jar? Because that is how you'll separate yourself and really start to figure out what these fish want, you know? Come equipped with 5, 6, 7 different scents on your marshmallows in little jars until you find one that they really want to eat. So that's how you fish a marshmallow off the bottom. It works extremely well. It's something that a lot of anglers have been doing for trout for years now, and it's cheap, it's effective, and it'll help you catch fish. Thanks so much for tuning in. Do not forget to tap that little subscribe button down below, and don't forget about the bell so you guys get notified when more videos are coming. We got lots more trout stuff coming and lots of cool stuff coming. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the river.